Good afternoon and welcome to a rather soggy Fox's Biscuits Stadium here in Batley for this all-important Round 18 Betfred Championship clash between the Batley Bulldogs and the Halifax Panthers. Halifax looking to record consecutive victories for the first time in a while after such a positive uplifting win over Toulouse Olympique last week at Odsal. But as always in the Betfred Championship, table positions mean nothing. After beating the top of the table, Toulouse last week, Batley, who were towards the bottom of the table, always difficult proposition, especially with ex-Halifax men in the ranks. But hopefully Halifax will have enough for the victory today. Let's go through the teams first and foremost with the Panthers. As number 23, David Nofaluma, finally got off the mark against Toulouse last week. He keeps his place at fullback, as do the rest of the three quarters. 3 Charlie Graham and 4 Ben Crooks on the right flank, with 3rd to Deon Sambu after such an encouraging debut for the Panthers. Keeps his place at left centre with James Saltonstall, not only riding across the wave of form of 2 tries last week, he makes his 250th career Halifax appearance, a magnificent achievement for Salty, and hopefully it's a great performance and a win for him today. At halfback, a very welcome return for number 6 James Woodburn Hall, who partners number 1 Louis Jouffre. In the halves, Jouffre, another 2-try hero last week, in a new but old halfback pairing for the Panthers. In the park, number 8 Brandon Douglas, 16 Ronan Dixon and 34 Vila Halafihi, with 12 Adam Tangata, 19 Zach McComb coming in for him, McCarron, and 14 Tom Inman locking up the scrum at loose forward. On the bench for the Panthers, number 9 Adam O'Brien, celebrating his 32nd birthday this week, alongside 30 Jacob Fairbank, 22 Maxime Job, and 33 Leon Cowan, very fresh after making his St Helens debut earlier this week. 15 Cole Davies, the 18th man for Carl Eastman's men. As Batley already out, the Panthers keep them waiting, but they do make their way onto the field now, and it looks like Batley will have the advantage of the infamous Mount Pleasant slope in this first half. Let's quickly go through the Batley team. Number 34, Raina McGowan on loan from Huddersfield Giants. Number 1, Robbie Butterworth, and 2, Joe Burton on the wings, with 3, Ollie Greensmith, and 12, Lucas Walshaw in the centres. 6, Ben White, an ex-Halifax man, always dangerous alongside number 7, Josh Woods, his huge left boot, always a trouble. And then in the park, number 8, Adam Gledhill, and 10, Luke Cooper in the front row and props, with 14 Brandon Moore, ex-Halifax legend. Glad to see him back playing. Another Halifax legend, 11 Dave Manning, alongside 32 Jacob Bateman in the back row for the Bulldogs, and 17 Luke Blake locks the scrum. 9 Alistair Leake, 15 Niall Flynn, 24 Paul Folston, and 31 Noah High on the bench for Batley as the game gets underway. And Sambu pulled down by 3 men, 15 metres away from his own line. Dixon troubles it up, bumps off more, but Blake comes in to finish the job as Halifax trying to work their way up this slope. This time it's Douglas, there's 4 men coming in, a couple looking high, but Manning drags him to ground. Alafihi looking for a quicker play of the ball from referee Scott McCloskis. Dixon with his second run of the set turns his back, but makes his way past the 30 for Halifax. Jouffre kicking in on the tackle count behind his 40, it's centre field, bounces on the floor, it's a decent kick. McGowan collects, it's a great chase from Halifax led by Adam Tangatara and Inman, and McGowan put down 25 metres away from his own line. Tangatara involved again alongside McComb in defence as Burton gets put down this time. And White steals some yards from dummy half, put down by McComb. Here's Gledhill. Takes on his opposite number, Douglas, as Dixon outside to put him down. Alongside McComb again, working on defence as Woods dribbles the ball through. Stopped by his foot by Nofaluma. And looks a counter-attack. Bounces off one, nearly got away, but just slipped at the crucial moment. Great return. In such great form as David Nofaluma, and here's Saltonstall. Carries on past the 40 for Halifax. Halafihi waits, he goes blind to Tangata. First to run a possession for the Cook Islander, takes Halifax past halfway. Jouffre shows and goes, hands on to Dixon, and Dixon will trundle it past the 40 for the Panthers. Decent set so far. Goes right to Jouffre, short ball. As McComb loses the ball in the tackle. There's an early defensive win there for Batley. Halifax were winding up for a shot on the back of the line, but McComb having the ball. Frostman's grass 30 metres from the back of the line. As I said before, very, very soggy Fox's Biscuit Stadium. The rain falling pretty much all day here in West Yorkshire. And Batley have the scrum 30 metres out from the old line centre field. The ball finds its way to Walshaw, who just trounced all over Sambu, and Brown keeps going through there, and it's a high tackle from Saltonstall. The first penalty of the game goes to the Bulldogs, 10 metres inside the Halifax half. And the kick to touch will take the Bulldogs further downfield, literally downhill. There's two balls on the field, stopping Joe Burton, tapping a penalty. The penalty does eventually find its way into the hands of Luke Cooper, who takes the penalty 30 metres away from the Halifax line. Scrappy play the ball, Moore finds White, Woods, short ball to Manning, well dealt with by Cowan, McComb and Inman. As Batley less than 20 metres out from the Halifax line. Here's Woods, runs across the line, plenty of dummies. White, short ball, number 32 Jacob Bateman put down by Nofaluma and Tangata, less than 10 out. They go blind. Welshaw looking to turn and spin over the line, but desperate defence from the Flaxmen there. Nofaluma, Sambu and Woodburn all hold the massive frame of Lucas Welshaw up. Still tackles over Batley as they go back to the 10 metres. Here's Moore, finds Woods, goes it through, looking for the Batley chase as McGowan's there. He's picked up by Nofaluma for the counter attack. Makes the break, Nofaluma. Hands on to Graham. Graham sizes up, Ben White goes on the outside, takes his tackle. Brilliant return as Halifax will start a set 10 metres inside the Batley half. Crooks finds Inman onto a Bernal. Long ball out to Sambu. Sambu further out. Saltonstall's knocked on. And Halifax probably guilty being a little bit giddy there. Just needed to settle down a little bit, especially in these conditions. And Batley have played the first get out of jail free card there. This play continues. White, short ball to Greensmith, well dealt with there by Inman. Halafihi, it was. Manning winds up, definitely a tackle there from Tom Inman. Alongside Halafihi himself. You might see them two switch between 13 and 9 today, but as it is, it's Halafihi started at 9 and still making a tackle. As Batley is struggling to make yards here. Woods with a kick, charged down by Inman, but McGowan's going to get back to it. And as the referee rule, it's back to 1. I think he has from the charge down. As Welshaw trying to make yards downfield, but stopped by Inman and Sambu. And it's another penalty, this time for offside against the Panthers. Halifax's discipline not good enough, both the ball in hand and in defence as well, as just piggybacking Batley downfield. Ben White kicking on the Bulldogs 5 metres inside Halifax's half as Gledhill takes on Halifax defence again. Tangata and Inman involved in the tackle. Play the ball 35 metres out for the line. Comes back to number 17, Luke Blake, loose forward, put down by Dixon and Douglas. And Blake don't like the attention there as Douglas puts his head on his forward like two rutting stags. Douglas and Blake, I don't think either side will want a man sent off today. As Scott McCloskis calls over the Halifax captain Ben Crooks alongside Brandon Douglas. And does this mean it's going to be a penalty to Batley? Now, from my viewpoint, it looked like it was just 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. And Douglas walks away, and it's going to be a penalty to Batley. Ben Crooks disagreeing, and Miskowskis signing for the penalty, and then quickly signing that Batley are going to attempt the first shot at goal this afternoon. And 30 metres out, going down the hill. 10 metres out, why wouldn't you? With the kicking pedigree of Josh Woods, there you would think he's going to post the first points this afternoon, which he does. And now Batley take the lead 2-0 after such a promising start for the Panthers. Hopefully learning from the mistake, a bit more composure, a bit more discipline with ball in hand. It's Dufresne to kick back off. Collected and handed off to Gledhill. They'll take to the centre of Halifax defence, put down by McCollum, Inman and Dixon. Here's Cooper, and Cooper well dealt with by Crooks. And Halafihi lying on a little bit too long, but referee let him get away with it as McGowan gets put down just outside his 30. And again, Batley struggling to make any kind of territory with his Halifax defence is doing well. Manning put down by his opposite number, Zach McComb, on his own 40. Moore jumps out from dummy half, hands it on to Blake. And Blake put down by Halafihi. Last one for Batley as Woods measures the kick toward the touchline. Collected on the bounce by Nofaluma. Runs towards centre field looking for a counter attack. Tries to bump off Gledhill, but Brandon Moore comes in to finish off the tackle, and Halifax will start a set 20 metres away from their own line. Here's Saltonstall. Keeps hold of the ball this time and quick play the ball too. Here's Tangata. Close to the ruck but still makes some yards and captures the Batley defence. Too slow and getting back. Brilliant play from Halifax there. James Saltonstall, as he's done all throughout his 250th Halifax appearances. Strong running from out the back. Win the quick play of the ball, allowing Tangata to catch the Batley defence offside, and Halifax with the first real attacking opportunity now as Douglas gets put down 30 metres away from the line. Halafihi short to Dixon, and Dixon does well. Decent yards toward the 20. Centre field. Halafihi goes left to Bernal. Out the back to Nofaluma. Further on to Sambu, and Sambu drops the ball. If he's being hypercritical, it was a bit of a poor pass from Nofaluma behind him, but as a young 20-year-old Super League player, Sambu should be catching that. But again, it's yet another error from the Panthers. And making a third of the game so far. And yet again the chance is gone. Still 2 points to nil to the Bulldogs. And they'll have the scrum 15 metres away from their own line. It goes out, and McComb and Crooks puts the Batley man down. I think it's Greensmith there. As Manning carries it on, put down by Graham. Moore. Short ball, it's Greensmith once more. Put down by Douglas and Inman. As the ball worked to Cooper, and Cooper stopped by Douglas. And by McComb, working overtime and defence is at McComb so far as Douglas with a big hit there. On Luke Blake. Who else? Last one. Woods having to kick behind his 30. Long kick downfield. Nofaluma catches it on the full in his own 20. Looking to counter attack. Takes on Brandon Moore, but as we always know, Brandon Moore makes his tackle. Here's Saltonstall. Works his way towards halfway. Halifax looking for a quick play, the ball and gets it. Goes blind. Sambu steps on the inside. Looks high, but the referee rules it with shoulder. Here's Jufrey, centre field. Short ball to Inman. Drops it off for Douglas, and Douglas well brought down by Blake and Moore. 15 metres inside the Batley half. Here's Inman. Short ball to Dixon. Great shot there from Dave Manning. He's telling Dixon exactly what he thinks of him there. Last one. Jufrey puts it high. Big chase here, and McGowan takes it well, but perfect timing from Louis Jufrey off from Ben Crooks there. And Halifax concede the penalty for offside. And Halifax are just their own worst enemies at the moment. Every time we seem to make real good field position, we either drop the ball or concede penalties. Around about 12 minutes gone, and already we've conceded 2 penalties and 3 errors. As Greensmith taps and finds halfway for Batley, brought down by Jufrey and Graham. Here's Manning. Finds Inman, McComb and Graham waiting for him. We'll take Batley into Halifax's half, 5 metres. Moore finds Cooper. On to White. Sambu shoots out and makes a tackle. Had to. As Aidan McGowan loves to break round the back. Moore goes blind again. White. As Bateman. Brought down by Woodburn Hall. As Batley. 25 metres out from the Halifax line. Here's Moore. Runs cross field. Finds Woods. On to Greensmith. Greensmith kicks downfield. It's going to be too deep, is that? And Halifax going to get 7 tackle set from the 20 metre tap. And with the array of kicking ability that Batley have got there, I don't think Ollie Greensmith was the one that John Keir would have wanted the ball to land to in that position. But frankly, who cares, as Graham finds 10 metres for the tap. Saltonstall ducks out the way of Cooper. Put down by Manning. Halifax goes right to Saltonstall, to McComb. Again, Halifax players wanting a penalty for an high tackle, not given by the referee. McComb just gets on and plays the ball. Here's Inman. Drops it off for Dixon. He gets brought down just past halfway. Halifax finds Inman. Takes it to the line. Gets brought down by Brandon Moore. And Luke Blake once more on the 40. Here's Jufrey, back inside for Douglas. Douglas brought down 30 metres from the Batley line. Last one, he goes back to Woodburn Hall. Puts it high. Too long for the chasers to put any real pressure on him, but McGowan gets brought down 5 metres away from his own line by Tangata. Good defence again on Burton from Dixon and Douglas. Here's Walshaw. Meets Tangata, and Tangata as well. Helped out by Sambu and Halifax. And again, Batley struggling to get out their own territory here. Halifax will just keep the discipline. They're winning the territory battle here. Here's Gledhill. Just goes past the 30 for Batley. Last one coming up. Goes back to Woods and Woods. Long kick downfield. Saltonstall allows it to bounce. Collects it on the fly. And looks to counter attack. And gets brought down. 32 metres away from his own line. Halifax onto Nofaluma. Throws a dummy. Ooh, big hit there from Gledhill. The referee rules it was across the chest. No, he doesn't. On second thought, he must have had a word from this touch judge. And gives the penalty to Halifax. Which Dufresne will boot to touch. Great touch find, and Halifax will start. They set 30 metres away from Batley's line. Crooks wasting no time. Taps and goes towards centre field to within 20 metres of that Batley line. Halifax setting something up here. Halifax throws a dummy. Oh, Cowan, sorry, that was. Will take Halifax to within 12. Halifax dummy half, goes to Woodburn Hall. Runs across the field, brings on Sambu. Sambu dealt with well there by Bateman. Still tackles here for Fax. Short ball for Douglas, rampaging towards the line. Great tackle down low by McGowan, helped out by Gledhill. As Halifax within 10. Halifax, long ball to Dufresne. Further on to Crooks. On to Charlie Graham, he's going to be in the corner. Oh, what a finish! Charlie Graham! Acrobatic finish! As Halifax take the lead. Brilliant approach play. And Charlie Graham, number 3 on his back and been operated in the centre most for 2025. Just reminded what a lethal finisher he is. He's been watching your NRL this weekend. You'll see some unbelievable finishes. That ranks up there as well. But more important than that, it gives Halifax a 4-2 lead with a kick to come. And for the first time this game, Halifax made the way upfield, good field position, and manage to hold on to the ball, and not just hold on to the ball, finish. Brilliant play there. But it leaves Dufresne the tricky conversion attempt. Wide out on that far right touchline. He used to be a Batley player, of course, Dufresne, so maybe that experience might do him well. Here he comes. Strikes it well. Oh, the fans behind the post will tell you. Louis Dufresne has turned the 4 into 6 and stretched the lead out for Halifax. Just coming up to the 20-minute mark here at the Foxes Biscuits Stadium. It's Batley Bulldogs 2, Halifax Panthers 6. Going up the hill as well. As we're just waiting for the kickoff to happen again, as White puts it high downfield, collected by Woodburn on his knees, heads on to Cowan. Brilliant play from Cowan, who had a 30-second debut for Saints on Friday night. So no real exertion, fresh for today's clash, and does well, as does Saltonstall. Further on to Dixon. Max works his way towards the 40-metre line. Tangat to work at the blind side, goes towards that halfway. Halifax, short to Woodburn Hall, runs across field, showing and going. Hands on to Inman, and Inman rides tackle well. Last one. 10 metres inside the Batley half as Dufresne puts it high. Looking for Saltonstall to chase, collected by Burton. He evades Halifax tackles there, but a really important tackle there from Cowan. 15 metres out from his own line. As Batley trying to make their way downfield. And like I say, Halifax have done well. Commentators curse. I say they've done well, but Scott Michalauskas has ruled another penalty. Now that one's a bit harsh. It's one of those where the Batley player was slipping on his way down and there was contact with the head. Surely a bit of common sense there, but it's a letter of the law, especially in 2025. It is a penalty and it's another chance for Batley to escape danger, and they'll start a set 5 metres inside Halifax's half with Manning on the drive, taking Batley to within 15 metres inside Halifax's half. Gledhill short ball to Blake, and Blake put down by McComb and Cowan. Moore, long ball to Woods, takes to the line, finds White. Always a tricky customer, but well dealt with there by Tangata. Here's Gledhill, always direct with him, and well marshalled there by Halafihi. Here's White, out of the back to McGowan, further on to Walshaw. The Batley man was free there on the right hand side, but Walshaw decides to go back inside. Last one for the Bulldogs. Goes back to White, covers it through, it ricochets off the Halifax man. He's still on the last for Batley. McGowan covers it through to the in goal. Saltonstall collects, manages to get the ball away, but the referee rules. They was already caught dead in goal. It's the first goal and drop out of the afternoon, forced by the Batley Bulldogs. Halifax did so well to ride that out, get the ricochet to the kick, but credit Batley's desperateness there. There's Nofaluma with a dropout, brilliant dropout, bounces once and Cooper has to go behind halfway, but returns it well. Bounces off Jacob Fairbank, fresh onto the field, but finished off by Tom Inman as Batley start the set 10 metres inside Halifax's half. Here's Blake, tries to bump off Tangata, but he holds on with Inman there for company. Moore goes to the blind side, short ball to McGowan. McGowan put down by Tangata and Cowan. Moore finds White, Woods brings on Manning on the angle, bumps off one, but don't manage to bump off Tom Inman. Slap play the ball there, not missed there by the referee. White finds McGowan onto Walshaw trying to use his size against Sambu. He's still going. Walshaw gets the ball away. McGowan out to Burton. Great defence there from James Bernal. Last one. McGowan looking to go over from dummy half, and it's great defence there from Dayon Sambu. Probably the wrong option there from a Batley perspective, from an Halifax perspective, great. But Halifax have to play the ball 2 metres away from their own line. Some big carries coming up now. First of all, who else is Saltonstall, who rides it well. Brilliant run there from James Saltonstall, as he's done thousands of times before in his Halifax career. Fairbank carried it on onto the Inman. Put down by Gledhill, 25 metres away from his own line. Fairbank, short ball to Tangata, turns the tackle. The 3 Batley defenders who put him down on the 40 metre line. Halafihi finds Nofaluma, and Nofaluma will make yards up the middle. Halafihi kicks from dummy half, great kick, splitting winger and fullback. Will it sit down there? Oh, it's just gone out. Desperately lucky there for VRFE. The The kick was just inches too long. Resting on the dead ball line, but that's enough, and Batley will have the 7 tackle set from the 20 metre tap eventually. As Miklauskas was worried about something or other. Here's Greensmith. Always a strong runner, but put down by Inman. Here's White. Takes up himself, so it's a dangerous runner with the ball. Moore goes blind still as Bateman gets brought down by Tangata of Fairbank. Here's Manning. Brought down yet again by Fairbank. Leak finds White onto Woods, further on to Manning, short ball to Greensmith, great tackle coming in there from Crooks and Dufresne. On the last for Batley, 20 metres out for the Halifax line, goes to Woods, and Woods hoists the crossfield kick. No one really wants it. Walshaw bats it back, it goes to Burton, and Burton steps back on the inside, still the last. Goes a long speculator to Moore, further on to McGowan, crossfield kick the other side now. As Batley surely have knocked on there, and the ball's picked up by Charlie Graham. And Halifax survive, going coast to coast there, Batley. Right then left. Halifax defence stays firm. Still in the lead, remember, 6 points to 2. As Graham makes some decent yards. Here's McComb. Centre field, brought down by 3 Batley defenders. The ball's come loose again. And for the second time this game, Zach McComb has knocked the ball on in the tackle. Brilliant work until the last, but that's the most important bit. Got to keep hold of that ball, and it just gives Batley another opportunity now. With the scrum 20 metres out, centre field. They go blind. Greensmith again. Brought down by Inman. Here's Gladhill. Winded up. With Dufresne and McComb. Do well to stop his progress alongside Crooks out there. Tackles in the bag here for Batley. Woods takes it to the line. Finds White. Short ball to Bateman. Brilliant tackle there from James Woodburn-Hall. Had to be. As Leak jumps down from dummy half. Wrapped up by Tangata. As Batley get ever close to that line. Woods chops it off. Fahad, the substitute, gets the ball away. Here's Leak. Nearly at the line. Oh, desperate defence of the Panthers. Last one for the Bulldogs is Walshaw. Probably going to pile his way over, which he does. The biggest dummy half, or tallest dummy half charge over you'll ever see is Lucas Walshaw. They're in the centres today. Gets over for the try. And Batley retake the lead. 6. Well, they're equalised, sorry. But with the try being to the side of the post, it won't be long before they retake the lead. And Halifax is indisciplined with the ball, being costly. I'm going to say, just leaves Josh Woods, the rather academic job of converting the 4 into 6. Up he steps, straight through the posts. And Batley do indeed retake the lead. 8 points to 6 here. Remember, Halifax are going uphill as well, so there's that to come in the second half of downhill advantage maybe. Dufresne gets us back underway. Collected by Burton. Hands it on to Jacob Bateman, who does well, but Jacob Fairbank waiting for him there. As Adam O'Brien fresh onto the field. You'll be able to tell who had new substitutes onto the field because of the state of the shirts, because it's quickly becoming a little bit of a mud bath here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium. As Gledhill plays the ball in his own 40. McGowan well dealt with by Crooks and Dufresne. Here's Moore. Back to Gledhill again. I don't think he particularly wanted that ball, but he just takes it anyway. 3 Halifax men put him down. O'Brien, Inman and Dufresne. There's Gledhill trying all the dark arts to win a penalty. Rikauskas saw what he was doing. Woods kicks the ball on the last. It goes straight into the arms of Charlie Graham, who looks to return the ball with interest. It was a decent chase from the Bulldogs, led by Dane Manning. As Nofaluma goes from dummy half. But again, Manning, brilliant work from marker. Here's Saltonstall. Centre fielder this time. It's Halifax still struggling to get out of territory. Here's Sambu. All the outside backs getting in on the act to get Halifax out of danger. Here's Fairbank. Takes up himself and takes Halifax past halfway. Great run there from Fairbank. Last one, Halifax 10 metres inside the Batley half. Goes back to Dufresne. Further on to Woodburn Hall. Woodburn Hall has to kick up his left. Collected by Burton. Great kick pressure there from Batley, which means that they'll start the set 25 metres away from their own line. But again, great defence coming in from Cowan, putting McGowan down before he can make a break. More hard work coming in from him then on the Batley man. Couldn't tell because his shirt came off. I don't know what number he was. As Batley find halfway through White. Here's Flynn. Last one goes to Woods. Woods puts up a high spiralling bomb. First real test for Nofaluma. Collects it really well. But guess who's there to mop up the tackle? Dane Manning. But the referee has ruled that his chase was too eager. And Halifax get a godsend of a penalty. As that last set that Halifax had, they were really struggling to get out of territory there, but Dufresne's kick will meet the start this set 5 metres shy of halfway, which Crooks immediately takes past halfway from the tap penalty. Here's McCall. Gledhill coming up and missing, thank God. Oh, brilliant shot there as well. Alistair Leake against his opposite number. O'Brien, no, I think it was Manning there. As I say, these shirts are getting muddier and muddier. Here's Inman. Big shot there from Gledhill. Halifax 25 metres out centre field. Dufresne steps on the brakes because Dane Manning shot out the line and got him. But it's a turnover as well. It was on the last two. Brilliant play from Manning. As Greensmith takes Batley further away from their own line. going past their own 40 on the next tackle of Flynn. Fairbank working hard on defence against his ex-teammate Brandon Moore. White drops it off for Bateman, and Bateman well put down by Tangata. Using the blind side again, bringing on Walshaw on the angle. Takes 3 Halifax men to put him down. O'Brien, Tangata will burn all. Last one for Batley. Goes back for Woods, and Woods puts it high yet again. Nofaluma lets it bounce, but it's collected by Crooks. On the bounce, the referee rules that Crooks knocked it on the bounce. Oh dear. Well, Nofaluma did not look confident in taking that. Let the ball bounce. It bounced back over his head, and in the act of collecting it, the referee's rule that Ben Crooks knocked it on. I'm not too sure about that, but it's his decision. And Batley have a scrum 10 metres away from the Halifax line. Looking to strike just before half time. And Batley, nice scrum move there as Greensmith. Oh, important touch there from Charlie Graham. There's another penalty now for the Bulldogs, this time for offside. Now will Batley go for 2 just before our time here? I think they will. I think the tee's already on its way out. Yep, and the signal's gone up there. And as an Halifax player, I will take that every day, because Batley looks like he's on the rack there. 8 points to 6, that's a slender lead. 10 points to 6, well, usually don't matter here or there, but we've seen recently in the Championship how random penalty goals or drop goals taken can be so important going down the track. And it's not as if it's an easy penalty either. It's 15 metres out, 10 metres in from touch. It's a tricky penalty conversion attempt. Up he steps. Richie lands as Josh Woods. Extending the Batley lead, 10 points to 6. And Dufresne with the kick-off once more. Again going deep and left, collected by Burton. Hands on to Bateman. Big collision by Sambu and Tangata. Brings him down 15 metres away from his own line. Now can Halifax force the mistake? They've done it already this game. They've always restricted Batley's meters here. But they've always produced a high tackle or offside. Burton put down by Inman. They work the ball out as Bateman again brought down by Tangata. 15 metres shy of halfway. Woods behind his 40. Looking for the 40-20, but he just goes straight into the arms of James Saltonstall. And Saltonstall put down 15 metres shy of halfway. Here's Nofaluma. Put down by 2 Batley defenders. Manning and Gledhill. Here's McComb. Needs to keep hold of the ball. And does this time. Here's Fairbank. Great run there. Sorry, that was Callum, my mistake. This one's Fairbank. Last one for Halifax, 30 metres away from the back of the line. Dufresne puts it high. Looking for Crooks and Graham to chase as the hooter goes. McGowan collects and tackle there. In a back and forth first half, where both sides will feel that they should have had more of a foothold in the game. There was an early Josh Woods penalty which took the lead for Batley, but then Halifax took the lead with an unbelievable finish at the corner from Charlie Graham. Dufresne converting from the touchline, but then Lucas Walshaw had sustained Batley pressure with the tallest dummy half scoop barge over you'll ever see, converted by Woods, who then added a penalty just before half time to make the half time score here at a rather soggy Fox and Biscuits Stadium in this vital Betfred Championship round 18 clash. The Batley Bulldogs 10, Halifax Panthers 6. Welcome back to the Fox and Biscuits Stadium here in Batley, known to you and me as Mount Pleasant, for the second half of this Betfred Championship round 18 game between the Batley Bulldogs and the Halifax Panthers, which at the moment is a losing one for Halifax, as Batley through the tallest, biggest dummy half scoot you ever see from Lucas Walshaw, and 3 Josh Woods goals cancelled out. And earlier Charlie Graham try in the corner, one for any highlight reel, and Louis Dufresne's kick from the corner, giving Batley a slender 10 points to 6 lead. But what could be all important is that in this second half now, Halifax have the downhill advantage of the infamous Mount Pleasant slope. And after a first half, yes, it's very, very rainy and muddy here, but Halifax have just spilled too much ball, been giving away far too much penalties, and always in really vital positions as well. Hopefully the miss from Carl Eastman is to cut that out as play gets back underway. Dufresne gets the ball on the way. As Tears for Fears are still playing, everyone wants to rule the world, everyone wants the game to carry on. And play does carry on as Gledhill charges up the slope, put down by O'Brien and Inman. As the soundtrack of Tears for Fears is still playing, as Batley go past halfway. Hopefully they've not put the album on. Here's Gledhill again, put down by 2 Halifax defenders, 10 metres inside the half. Woods puts it high. He's going to go out on the full as well. Oh. A nightmare start for Batley. Maybe Tears for Fears were putting Josh Woods off. He needed to rule the inner dimensions of the pitch because he put the ball out on the full. It's a nightmare start of Batley in his second half. Perfect one for Halifax, as already the inside Batley's half from the run with the impressive Leon Cowan. Here's Tangata from the short ball from Woodburn Hall. Inman pops it up for Fairbank and just dumped on his back by the Batley man. Here's Woodburn Hall, slows it down, speeds up, hands on to Tangata, just stands in the tackle, manages to get about 5 or so metres backwards though, 15 metres away from the Batley line. Here's Fairbank, takes it himself, stopped by 3 Batley defenders just outside the 10. Options left and right. Here's Dufresne, kicks towards the corner. Well claimed there by Butterworth. But Halifax need to force Batley to come 90 metres away now. As Manning asking for a penalty and on forthcoming. As Greensmith goes towards centre field, put down by 3 fast defenders, Fairbank, O'Brien and Inman. Leak jumps out from dummy half, well stopped there by Inman. Finished off by McComb. As pretty much at most sets the first half. Batley struggling to get out of territory. They're going to kick practically on their own 20 here as Woods. Great pressure from Jouffre as well. And it's another ball that's gone out on the full. Brilliant play from Louis Jouffre. And Josh Woods, first 2 involvements in the second half, he's kicked the ball out on the full twice. But put that down to the brilliant pressure from Louis Jouffre there. And Halifax will start the set 25 metres away from the Batley line. Cowan juggled the ball. We managed to keep up before the Batley defence came. Here's Jouffre, out the back to Bernal. Third on to Nofaluma takes on Walshaw and White. Needs to get brought down before he gets put out into touch. Just stays in the field of play. Here's Bernal, finds Tangata. Thought about the pass to Inman, but just keeps hold of the ball and reverses back towards the line. But put down, 5 out. Here's Inman. He's dropped the ball. Cold defensive line. You could just see, even before he was trying to organise the attacking line, and he was trying to do it before he even caught the ball there. And again, Halifax, like they were in the first, guilty of just simple, basic errors at critical times. Gifting Batley and yet another get out of jail free card. Now can Halifax force a mistake through the defence here? Great contact there from Fairbank, along with Cowan, pushing the Batley man back inside his 10 metres. Greensmith put down by Inman and O'Brien. Batley still only 15 metres out. Here's Manning, goes direct, but get another great shot there by Leon Cowan. Here's Gledhill. Good yards there from the front rower. But again on the last tackle, Batley kicking from their own 30. Straight down the middle this time, but Saltonstall collects on the bounce. Surveying his options. Great return. Will play the ball 10 metres shy of halfway. Here's Nofaluma. Takes Halifax past halfway. Thought there was a bit of a break on there. Jouffre finds McComb. Broken field ahead of him. Gets some good yards ahead of Zach. He's keep hold though. And does. Inman finds with Bernal. Shot ball to Tangata. And Tangata well dealt with there by Bateman. Come back towards centre field. Inman finds Jouffre. Out the back to Bernal. Bernal throws dummy. Still Bernal. Short ball to Crooks. Important tackle from Butterworth. Halifax on the less than 5 out. Scrappy play the ball. Jouffre throws the impossible ball to McComb, who knocks on. Can't blame him for that one. Ball just ricocheted off his shoulder. Halifax missed a chance there, but they turn the ball over. Again, Batley's bottom corner. Great work from Mark from Crooks. Alongside Cowan. Putting Greensmith down. Here's Manning again. Crooks from Mark. A brilliant work. Jouffre finished off the tackle. Here's McGowan. Brought down by O'Brien and Fairbank. Here's Niall Flynn. Fresh onto the field. Put down by Cowan. Leak finds more. Third on to White. The kick in the tackle count. looking to wrestle some territory there. And Saltonstall and Nofaluma trying to keep the ball in from the 20-40. Pass the ball wide to Graham. And that's a great result for Batley there. Nofaluma realised too early then that it could be a 20-40. Even a 40-20 there as well. But he still did well. Sambu takes Halifax pass. They're on 30. Here's Douglas, short to the ruck, gets a bit forward, but play continues as Douglas, leg drive, takes him brilliantly towards halfway and onto halfway. Here's Dufresne, dinks it over the defensive line. Grubbers towards McGowan, and McGowan has a wall of blue and white in front of him, put down by Fairbank, McComb, and Ben Crooks once more. As Butterworth gets put down by Tangata. Burton this time. Put down by Fairbank on his own 30. As Leak jumps out from dummy half. White finds Moore. Further on to Woods. Short ball to Manning. Tries to keep Dufresne at bay, but Crooks comes in to finish the tackle as Batley reached the halfway line for the first time. On the last, White puts it high. Spiraling here, there and everywhere as Nofaluma with the right decision to let the ball go, let the ball bounce, and anywhere else in the field it bounced straight dead, but it went against the posts. And this leaves for Nofaluma to collect as Batley riding the luck. Saltonstall brought down 30 metres away from his own line. Here's Tangata again close to the ruck, but Batley do well. Here's Douglas. Makes the midfield break as Douglas, but scrapped to the ground by Walshaw. Here's with Bernal on the left hand side, sets back on the inside, but Leak does well. The ball goes up on the last one with Bernal. Is he going to be out on the full? It is. Now both half backs guilty of kicking the ball out on the full. Or was it Dufresne? Regardless, the ball's gone out on the full, and Batley and a great start to the set. 10 metres shy of halfway. In with a tackle on Flynn. Here's Manning. Takes on McComb and Fairbank. And will bring Batley into Halifax territory. Leak finds Flynn. Flynn takes to the Halifax defence. 3 pulling down. Inman, O'Brien and Douglas. Leak finds White. Short ball to Bateman, and Bateman put down by Tangata. Great back between those two today. Here's Moore. Finds Woods. Kicks it over the defensive line. Charlie Graham's going to deal with this. And Butterworth makes the tackle and traps Charlie Graham in goal. Forcing the second goal line dropout of the afternoon. As Batley at the moment making a mockery of this slope. Nofaluma with a drop out. Cuts just shy of halfway as Finn takes it up. Fairbank with a big hit, no penalty despite the protests of the Batley fans. Here's High. Takes Batley to within 30. White brings on Walshaw. Practically jogging into defence. Stopped in his tracks by Tangata and Douglas. Here's White. Shows and goes. Bangs on to high. Good tackle. Down low by Cowan. Here's White. Throws the dummy. Douglas won't be full, but trying to shake him off, but support comes in the shape of Fairbank and McComb. Last tackle of Batley, 10 metres away from the Halifax line. Goes to Woods. Woods dinks the ball towards midfield. Great take there by Woodburn Hall. An awkward kick, one of those halfway between the post and the corner. As Saltonstall looks to take advantage of slow retreating Batley defence and steals that 15 or so metres. Gets quick play of the ball too. Woodburn Hall runs out from dummy half. Asking for the penalty from Miklauskas for the Batley offside, but none coming. O'Brien dummy half. Hands it on to Maxine Joe. Fresh onto the field and drops the ball. First involvement from Maxine Joe. Dropping the ball from, with respect, a huge Batley shot in defence. But again, ball security for Halifax has just been shocking all game. Here's White. Brings on Walshaw. Looks like they're playing in slow motion sometimes, Batley. Sometimes with these runs. Here's White. Again, just lackadaisical across the field. Woods finds McGowan onto Butterworth, and Butterworth's over. They managed to find the overlap. And Batley, not for the first time this game, make Halifax's errors pay. And the vital first score of the second half goes the way of the Batley Bulldogs, and it's Robbie Butterworth. And I say, it seemed like it was going in slow motion, but then the pace was picked up by Woods. Out of the back to Aidan McGowan, who injects some Super League pace into it, and then Robbie Butterworth finished off in the corner easily. No real pressure on him. And Batley go 14-6 up with the kick to come. 2-score advantage. Plenty of time left, of course, but Halifax have just got to get a grip of this game. And we just have to score next. And say just leaves Woods with another tricky conversion, but he's kicked one from here, albeit down the other side, and you're back against him from kicking another, which he does. Josh Woods is 4 from 4 after a nightmare start for Batley, especially from him, Josh Woods, kicking the ball out twice on the full. They've recovered, and it's them who extend the lead. 16 points to 6. Batley lead. And Halifax have just got to get themselves sorted soon. Drew Frey with a kick. Collected by White. On to Burton, and Burton will take the tackle of Job and Douglas. Here's Flynn. Put down by O'Brien. Here's High. Takes 4 Halifax men to put him down. O'Brien, Dufresne, McComb and Tangata. More short ball at the line. But Halifax just can't force the mistake. As Batley struggling to get out of their own territory, as Moore just takes on himself. Finds his own teammate Jacob Fairbank waiting for him. As Batley barely at their own 40 on the last. No real pressure on the kicker either. As Graham collects on one bounce. Looking to counter attack. Good yards after contact though, and Halifax will start the set. 15 metres shy of halfway. Here's Crooks. Good again, good yards after contact. Short ball to Saltonstall from the ruck. And Salty will find halfway. Here's Douglas. Rides the tackle well. O'Brien waits at dummy half. Finds Dufresne. Short ball to Job. Keeps hold this time as the French looks forward. Last one for the Panthers. Goes back to Dufresne. Gives himself an extra couple of metres. Puts the ball up.
Go Charlie!
And no real pressure on McGowan there. I'm not too sure why. But they're putting him down where he stands. 10 metres out from his own line. Now Halifax has just got to keep squeaky clean here. No penalties. Trap battle in their own territory is Butterworth struggling to make any yards. Leak takes from there. It didn't look a great play of the ball, and all the players were looking at the referee then, but Mikulski's rule play on. Here's Moore. Takes on Joe, but Joe does well. Puts him down alongside Fairbank. Last one for Batley. Barely out their own 30 as White. Puts the kick in high. Collected by Graham on his own 30. Looking to counter-attack Charlie Graham. Great shot there by Manning though, but it's a good defensive win there for Halifax. We'll start the set 5 metres shy of halfway. Nofaluma, short ball to Saltonstall. And Saltonstall will take Halifax inside the Batley half. O'Brien waits at dummy half. Short ball to Douglas. And Douglas will make 10-15 metres for Halifax down this slope. O'Brien to Dufresne. Dufresne either back to a Bernal. Further on to Nofaluma. Nofaluma makes the break. Has it right to Crooks. Crooks out to Graham, and Graham finishes. Yes! Oh, he's out. The touch judge has put the flag up. A very, very late signal, has to be said. And Charlie Graham denied his second of the game. Great approach play. But the Batley defence did just enough to force Charlie Graham out just before touching down. But very late signal for the touch judge, I must say. And Batley will have to play the ball 10 metres from their own line. But therein lies the threat. If Halifax can just keep hold of this ball, there's enough strike power in our ranks to get back into this game. But just got to stay squeaky clean, no penalties here. As Tangata makes a tackle on Butterworth. Here's Brandon Moore. Takes on Fairbank. The old leadership group coming together. Good defensive work again from McCorman and Fairbank. Restricting Batley's yardage here. Here's Flynn. Makes some much needed yards for the Bulldogs coming up the hill. Here's Moore. Another big contact in midfield. Finished off by Brandon Douglas there. Last tackle. Batley just shy of halfway. Goes to White. No real pressure on him. Dribbles the ball to Saltonstall. Stops it on his foot. And returns. Just shy of the 30. Here's Nofaluma. Still another 10 metres downfield for the Panthers. Here's Sambu. We'll inch towards halfway. O'Brien finds Job onto Dufresne. Fell onto a Bernal. Shot ball to McComb, but Too easy for the Batley defence there. No real. It was passing along the line. Not going to challenge it. Here's Douglas. On the 4. Last one for Halifax. 15 metres inside. The Batley half. Dufresne puts it high but not necessarily deep. Collected by Manning on his own 20 metre line. Again, no one really challenging for the ball there. There's Fairbank testing the patience of the referee. Big hit on Greensmith, but not ruled to be high. Burton carries it on. This time it's Flynn, put down by Dufresne and McCrone. Goes back centre field. Here's Brandon Moore. Takes on his ex-teammate Zach McCrone. Douglas joins the putting down, 10 metres shy of halfway. Last one again for Batley. Goes back to White, and again it's just carbon copy at the moment, just deja vu. No real pressure on him, and White just gets to kick it where he wants. Saltonstall collects. And Fax will start off just shy of their own 30 metre line. Trying to work their way down the slope. Here's Sambu. Goes towards the 40. Here's Saltonstall again. Halifax just inching the way downfield. Quick play the ball. Here's Woodburn Hall. Puts the footwork on. And we'll take Fax to within 35 metres that Batley line. Here's Job, further on to Dufresne. McComb catches the ball and goes behind Dufresne. So it starts to die in a tackle there. Last one goes to Dufresne, puts it high. Under pressure. And Butterworth collects. Kneeling on the break-up field, but brilliant shot there. Important tackle coming in from Fairbank. Here's Greensmith. Put down by O'Brien. As it's become very, very attritional now. Halifax winning a territory battle, but not really pressurising the Batley defence here. As Burton goes wide to Walshaw, who gets brought down on that far side by two fast defenders. As Batley make their way into Halifax's half. Brought down by Tangata. Last one. Here's Woods on that far side. Goes it through for Nofaluma. Nofaluma looking to counter-attack, looking for a chink in this Bulldogs armour, but Batley's been strong all game. Here's Graham. Good footwork at the line, but again, strong defence. Coming in from Blake and Manning. Here's Crooks. And then strong defence from the three Batley defenders. Dufresne, short ball to Job. Halifax losing the way a little bit here. Not coping well with this muddy conditions. Dufresne further on to Woodburn Hall. Here's Nofaluma. Trying to go through the gap, but the door closes and Walshaw puts him down. Last one. 30 out for the line. Woodburn Hall puts it high, cross field. Knock on from Batley. Shows knock on from Batley. The referee signaling a knock on, but not ruling which way. It has to be Halifax ball here, surely. It is. Butterworth went to claim the ball again, but knocked it on sideways. And I think that's what Mikalowskis were waiting for. The next Batley man came in and it was a scrappy pickup, so I think on the balance probabilities it was a Batley knock on, but massive opportunity now for Halifax. Scrum 10 metres out, centre field. The goal left. Here's Dufresne out of the back, lovely play, and Saltonstall's in the corner. Beautiful scrum play, and is that the moment? Down his 250th Halifax career appearance. James Saltonstall gets Halifax back into this game. Lovely scrum move, the ball was worked. From the middle to the left, Betfred out the back. To Sambu, release Saltonstall, who slid in at the corner. 16 points to 10 with a kick to come. Massive quarter of an hour left here in this game. Fax needed something, they got it. And Betfred unsuccessful with the conversion. So it's still Batley 16, Halifax 10. But Halifax have that score there and again. Force the error, force penalties, and we score. "13 minutes to go in this game." Huge 13 minutes in the context of this season for both clubs. Batley looking to climb to get out of the Middle Lakes drop zone, and Halifax looking for a consecutive win to get back into those playoffs. Douglas collects the kick-off. Rides the challenge well. Here's Dixon back onto the field. Surely he can make a big impact going down the hill. Here's Tangata. And Tangata is brought down on the 40. Quick play the ball. Bit of pace being injected into Halifax attack now, but Luke Blake dumping Inman on his back. Managed to keep all the ball just about though. As Dixon takes Halifax past halfway. Last one for the Panthers. Goes back to Woodburn Hall puts it high. Forcing Burke to come and collect. Oh, just about does. Brilliant fingertip control there. The great tackle there from Saltonstall. But again, Douglas, brilliant play. Plus down McGowan as Batley struggling to get out their own 10. Now this is where Halifax needs to keep squeaky clean. No penalties. Tangata and Sambu with a tackle. As Greensmith put down by Tangata and Inman as Batley barely 15 metres away from their own line. Oh, big shot there, but not high from Dixon. As White goes into the half to kick early. Collects on the floor by Nofaluma. And Nofaluma sprinting to try and make yards. Gets the ball out to Graham, and Graham has broken field ahead of him. Still going Graham, but put down. But it's going to be a penalty in backfield, I think. I think the referees ruled that Nofaluma was taken out after he'd passed. Big moments here. Can Halifax strike again from the penalty? They're 25 metres away from the Batley line. Dixon attracts three Batley defenders to put him down. Centre field, Halafihi back onto the field at dummy half. Short ball to Douglas. Brought down less than 10 out for the Batley line. Halafihi finds Inman. Out the back to Betfred. Further on to Crooks. On to Graham, and Graham has to score. And does! Yes! He was denied 10 minutes ago, Charlie Graham. But this time, he gets in the corner with ease. Charlie Graham gets his second try of the afternoon. Doubling his count for the year to 4. But more important than that, gives Halifax a chance to level up this game. Less than 10 to go. And it gives Betfred A tricky conversion attempt. 16 points to 14 to Batley at the moment. Can Frey do it in the first half? Land from that far right touchline. He's just pulled it to the left hand side. So Batley still hold a slender lead here, but like I said, it's not rocket science in rugby league. You don't concede penalties, you hold the ball, you force a mistake, and more often than not, you score tries. That's exactly what Halifax have done in the last 5 minutes. And the referee just having a quick word with both the captains about some of the play there. They said Nofaloon was taken out late after he'd passed the ball. And it might be some things that are going on in the tackle maybe, I'm not too sure. But the game will kick back off. Butterworth with a kick off. Kicks it deep. Collected by Nofaluma, hands it on to Dixon. Brilliant play by Nofaluma. Oh, and the referee's ruled. Then Nofaluma stepped on the dead ball line. There was a wicked kick-off from Butterworth. And Nofaluma couldn't have done much more. I thought he'd got the ball away to Dixon, but the touch judges must have been there. And the third goal line dropout of the afternoon, forced by Batley for Halifax. And the momentum changes massively. Batley are thinking, right, we can go and score the match winner here. Moore finds McGowan, short ball to Flynn. Put down by McComb and Dufresne. 30 metres out from the Halifax line. Short ball from Moore. So the Batley man just put down by Douglas. Here's Woods. Short ball to Manning, and Manning brought down by 3 fast defenders. 12 metres away from the Halifax line. Woods. Oh, Dufresne with a one-on-one. Brilliant play from Dufresne. And then Butterworth sticks it again. And then Nimbers drops out. Oh, it's all happening here. The long and short is Halifax have got the ball. Ridiculous stuff here. Louis Dufresne get the one-on-one, the Batley player on Butterworth, and then Nathan McGowan reefed the ball from Dufresne. And as the ball bounced, Tom Inman dived on the ball. Ridiculous stuff here, but Halifax through Saltonstall, 35 metres away from his own line, wanting a penalty but don't get it as Dixon. Great charge downfield. Brilliant run there from Dixon. Takes Halifax into Batley territory. Here's with Bernal. Out the back to Nofaluma. Further on to Sambu. Sambu steps back on the inside. Takes Halifax inside Batley's 30. He goes to Dufresne. Last one. Puts it high towards that near corner. The ball comes out. Here's Adam Tangata. Throws a dummy. Tangata. He's still going. Adam Tangata! Is that the moment? Tangata makes it consecutive wins for the Panthers. What a try! Again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Halifax brilliant with ball in hand going downfield. Fantastic kick from Bernal, forcing the mistake from Batley. They knocked it on, and Adam Tangata got the ball 25 metres out, and then stepped in field and just charged over the line to the delight of those Halifax fans under umbrellas and in raincoats on that bottom Craig Lingard terrace. £18 points to 16 with the kick to come. Still 5 minutes to go. But a huge moment in this game. Can Jouffre land this touchline conversion? Oh, he's missed it again. To be fair, they've all been tough conversions, especially in these conditions. But Halifax still held this slender lead. 5 minutes to go. It's Batley 16, Halifax 18. I'm not counting any chickens left yet. As Batley goes shortish from the kick-off. And Woodburn all collects. That looks a bit high from Walshaw, but referee rules not. And Halifax have just got to be squeaky clean. Mr. Sheen clean right now. Here's Dixon, whose brilliant run downfield, he could say, set up the momentum for a faster strike. Here's Inman, who's quick thinking, diving on that loose ball after 2 consecutive one-on-ones, saved it for Halifax. Here's McComb. This takes a tackle 5 metres shy of halfway. Last one. Alafihi goes blind to Jouffre, and Jouffre grubbers it. He collects it by Crooks. Crooks back inside to Inman. Inman to Jouffre. Jouffre, but to it, steals it. Oh, held up at the last. But surely should have gone right. Halifax could have sewn that game up if they go right instead of left. Oh, Louis Jouffre, from just trying to grub it into touch, got a lifeline. He bounced off the Batley man into the hands of Crooks. As Zach McCrone manhandling the Batley man, McGowan back into his own 10 metre line here. As Halifax, the script remains the same. Just no penalties. He was held up, was Jouffre somehow. As after a rather turgid first half, his second half has just burst into life. Absolute drama here, scenes, limbs. As Batley working the way upfield. Woods, long ball to Greensmith, steps back on the inside. Great tackle coming in from Tom Inman. Finished off from Jouffre. Last one for Batley from the 40. Woods just puts a massive spiral bomb up. Well taken by Charlie Graham. Brilliant. You wouldn't have blamed if he let that ball bounce. It was a wicked spiral bomb. But Charlie Graham, with the confidence of scoring 2 tries, collects it on the full. And Halifax, again, just squeaky clean here in possession. McComb plays the ball. Hands on and Crooks. Captain leading by example. Takes a tackle. 10 metres shy of halfway. Centre field. Halafihi hands on to Saltonstall. Saltonstall, what a game he's had. Takes Halifax past halfway. Here's Tangata. Tangata speckling inside again. Makes the break. Here he goes again, Tangata. Brilliant run from Tangata. Less than 20 out from the line. As Woodburn all just grubbers it towards that touchline. Turn over the ball on our terms, and Batley will have to play the ball on their own 10 metre line here. Must be around about 2 minutes left here. As Halifax again, no penalties. Greensmith met again by Inman and Crooks. As Batley again really struggling to get out of territory. More long ball to Woods. Dummies. As Batley spreading it wide, McGowan comes back on the inside. Brilliant sliding defence from Halifax. Put down by Sambu. Great tackle coming in from Dixon and Galafihi. Especially second stint. Dixon's had a brilliant second stint. Last one for Batley. Again it goes to Woods and Woods dinks it towards centre field. Halifax collect it, and who collects it there? The man of the moment, Adam Tangata. And again Halifax now, not sure how long's left. Safety first, Saltonstall steals 10 metres. And there goes the full-time hooter, Nofaluma will take the tackle on Halifax. Come from behind to record a memorable win here at a very soggy Foxes Biscuits Stadium. When Batley looked to have won the game, 16 points to 6. Oh, Charlie Graham with his second, James Saltonstall and Adam Tangata with a memorable match-winning try for the Halifax Panthers. Because of a win that reinstates Halifax playoff credentials. A tough, battling win here in the mud. At the Foxes Biscuit Stadium here. The final score. Never thought we'd be saying this. The final score here, Batley Bulldogs 16, Halifax Panthers 18.